Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to BOMA Talks, a monthly series where we learn from and grow our network of commercial real estate colleagues. My name is Rick Troy, the Executive Director of BOMA Metro Detroit, and just one of your two hosts this month. BOMA Talks started in 2024 when I asked Star Mosella and Susan Light, now famously known as Starlight Productions, to help me share the many wonderful and compelling stories of our BOMA members. They do a fantastic job as hosts, but this month we're going to turn the tables and we're going to interview them. And we're also going to hear from our newest BOMA Metro Detroit's board member, Gregg Montowski. And joining me today as co-host, the one and only Jordan Valasek, Vice President, Director of Property Management at the Farbman Group. Welcome, Jordan.
Hey, thanks for having me. Really appreciate being a part of this. And I know Star and Susan will be like, man, we should have probably thought about a better choice, but I'm glad you guys gave me a chance. This is awesome. Thank you.
All right. So before we get this special episode going, just a reminder that you can view this episode and past episodes of BOMA Talks on our website and by the end of the week on our brand new YouTube channel at BOMA DET.
Ooh. Yep, and it wouldn't be possible without our BOMA Talks BOMA Sponsor Partner Program. Wow, that's a tongue twister. And we want to give them a special shout out. Thanks, Rick, for that. Marble Life Grout Master, thank you very much. Right Size Facility, Detroit Disposal, and City Elevator. Thank you, guys.
Yay. Fantastic. We love our sponsor partners. Thanks for all of our members joining us today. We have a record crowd. To our folks that are here, I suggest that you save the following dates in your calendar. March 13, which is like a week from now, the Cornhole Crazy Tournament, which is just about sold out. Go on the website, bomadet.org, register today. The Mega Education Project kicks off in April, which will then extend through May. And then on May 2, the trade fair that you do not want to miss is back at Eastern Market. So all these great events and more can be found at BOMA.det, scratch that, BOMADET.org, as well as on our Facebook and LinkedIn. Jordan, who's on first?
I love it.
What's on second?
Doing some baseball stuff here today. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, everybody reported today.
Yep. So on first, we have Star Mosella Friedman Real Estate, and she is the BOMA Board of Directors and Volunteers of the Supplier and Membership Committees, and she is one half of Starlight Productions. And her expertise makes her a valuable asset to her teams and clients alike. So we're excited to welcome onto our show, Star. So Star, welcome.
Woo, yay me.
So Star, the first part of my questions has to be the journey, right? I think everyone wants to know, like, how did you get to this? How did you start? What made you want to go down this path? Because not just BOMA, but like you have a full-time job as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of just like everybody else. I kind of fell into this. This is not really a career that I was ever told about growing up, or, didn't ever have any examples of it. I started probably about 20 some odd years ago, working with a company called Summit Property Management. Was there for quite a few years and then left and went into the janitorial business, HVAC business, and then the oil business, and then came back around to property management and came back to Liberty Property, which used to be Summit, and then was there for about 4 years, I believe, and just left and came over to Friedman.
Yeah, that's excellent. I was looking at your LinkedIn page and seeing all the stuff you do. I'm like, how does she have time to do this? I gotta find some time management skills from Star. She's probably got some cool tricks up her sleeve.
Well, believe it or not, the BOMA stuff I find to be fun. So that's something, it's work related, but it's not. It's a good way to catch up with people, a good way to meet people. There's a lot of, and we always do a fun event, right? So there's always something fun to do.
Yeah, for sure. So as a property manager in your property management functions, what does a typical day look like for you? What do you like doing the most? What is something that you just, not that you don't like to do, but that's just kind of part of the job and you handle?
I'll say the thing I hate the most right now would be HVAC. Because anything that's going wrong can go wrong, is going wrong. But to find a good company to work with and, to work our way through the problems, actually it's a great learning experience. You're always willing to, pass your experiences along to others in your office, which is always helpful. But the thing I love the most is probably just dealing with the people. I love talking with my tenants, like getting to know them. Since I've been here now, I've got some, biweekly meetings scheduled with some of them, and I just really like getting to know them. And it's a lot easier when you're face to face with somebody than sending an email and having them yell at you. So I think I've got such a good personal relationship with all my tenants that it's a lot smoother sailing that way.
Yeah, for sure. And how have you seen the real estate market shift a little bit from office, with the vacancies going a little bit more? And to your point, having those one-on-one relationships with tenants is so important. What do you see the shift in the real estate industry happening like?
Well, I will say when I started back at Liberty, it was a little sporadic. Some days you would see people, some days you wouldn't. So getting to know those people was kind of hard at first. As I was getting ready to leave there, I would say most people were back, which was good. When I got over to Friedman and I took over the 700, 800 tower buildings in Troy, the 700 building was about half full. I will say now we're sitting about 95% full just over the last 6 months. More people are coming back. People are starting to sublease. They're bringing back their employees and, maybe now giving them 1 flex day, 2 flex days, but most people are back. So obviously ordering janitorial supplies has gone through the roof.
Yeah, for sure. I think it kind of added a layer of difficulty because you don't know when people are going to be in the office, so you don't want to order too much, don't want to order too
Right.
little. It's like this, little bit of cat and mouse game going on.
Yes.
Let me shift a little bit into your personal growth. You've done a lot of things outside the real estate industry, and it's very encouraging how much you are like a servant leader and how you impact your community. What's one of the favorite things that you do outside of work?
Lions football.
Yeah, that's community, and it
Yeah.
feels like a donation sometimes.
Yeah, I'm still healing, but I will say this year we got season tickets for the first time, and that was just something that I was looking forward to every home game. Just it brought me so much joy, and what a great year. And it didn't end the way I wanted it to, but it's okay. We're working through it.
Yeah, there's a therapy hotline, Rick. We gotta get that posted on our webpage so people can call it. A couple last questions for you, and I'll let you add whatever you'd like to add too. What's your favorite BOMA event? That's one of the most important questions, right?
Oh, yes, definitely the trade fair is my favorite. Because I feel like that's probably the one we get the most people at. You can actually take the time and talk with people during the day, and I usually, volunteer to help with the registration table just so I can kind of catch everybody as they're coming in. I really enjoy that. I love all the free stuff we get and the food and the drinks, of course. Just the whole event, I think, is a lot of fun and people really look forward to it. And I know there's a lot of talk right now. Everybody wants to know what we're doing this year, and there's getting to be some hype. And I won't tell anybody. I just keep telling them it's going to be awesome. So, just kind of trying to amp that up, and then, just to get to see everybody all throughout the day. I just really enjoy that.
So you guys got to do teasers then, you just do a blank screen and say coming soon or something, and just don't tell anyone what's going on. Just
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait and see.
Build up the anticipation.
That's funny. So Rick, I think we have 90% of people like the boating thing, and 10% this, and then we have stars in the trade show, which I know the trade show is fun too. But everyone I talk to at the boat thing always comes up first. So
well, we could tell you about the boat outing, but it happened in Lake St. Clair, and there's a rule about that, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Star, anything to add to the group before we let you off the hook?
Basically that, being in BOMA has really changed. It has changed the trajectory of my career. I really do believe it has. It's opened a lot of doors for me. It's introduced me to a lot of people. Including Gregg and Susan both. I talk to them probably once a week, and, they're good resources for me. And, it's nice to have this little networking group. I really do enjoy it.
Did you say once?
Once what? Once we, oh yeah, we usually talk. Well, Gregg and I talk once a week. You and I talk about 5 times a week, but.
Yeah, it is, to add to that, it is nice that we have this networking of people right here in Metro Detroit that we can all lean on. We really do. We are really blessed of the people we have in our network. And we really do appreciate everything that BOMA does to bring us all together. I think the stuff that we do is just excellent. And Rick has some great ideas. So we're all excited, and so does the team. Well, with that, thank you, Star, for allowing me
Thanks
to
for having me.
interview you, and thank you for having me as well on your awesome show.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, well, thank you. Hey, Rick.
Yo.
Who's on second?
Well, fantastic. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce to our crowd none other than Gregg Montowski, who is a graduate of Port Clinton, Ohio High School, where he quarterbacked the Redskins to back-to-back state titles. Did you know that Gregg was an avid skydiver?
Easy.
He was absolutely a great skydiver, and now he's embarking on I just learned about this. He's embarking on a brand new hobby. He's going to start hot air ballooning. But it's true that Gregg is the commercial business development guy at MJ White Disaster Restoration. I also learned that he's endorsed by Terry Bean on LinkedIn. And of course, he's the newest director here at BOMA Metro Detroit on the board of directors. Gregg, welcome to BOMA Talks.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I think we lost our positions in BOMA Talks.
We're being replaced.
We're being replaced.
Gregg, tell us about MJ White.
MJ White is a disaster restoration company, started 1979. So, 46 years into the industry here, and locally in Novi. We're second generation now that's at the helm of running the organization. Truly, we are a full service company, offering from, storm damage, water loss, the emergency MIT services, all the way up to, the reconstruction efforts that go into putting a property back in place. We do mold remediation, asbestos abatement, even, in the middle of the night when the board ups are needed and a car comes in a retail plaza or your front door or something like that. We have a great team here that, typically we are, 24/7, and can honestly say that happens in the middle of the night. I answer my phone, even though we have an 800 number that, is, a lot of people are directed to, but I like to help facilitate those calls, especially from our commercial customers, because, getting them back into business in a timely manner is key, especially when you have tenants or retail customers or whatever the case may be. We know what it takes, and, we're out there and trying to get it done.
Fascinating work, I imagine, on a daily basis. Tell us about your background. How is it that you kind of came into this world of commercial real estate and the restoration side?
Well, as you mentioned, I'm from Ohio originally, so roughly 26 years ago, I came to Michigan and started with a company that had large temporary equipment for construction or for buildings. And that kind of led my way into the construction world. And ever since then, I've been, working in some facet in construction. And over the last several years, even more so with property managers, owners, developers in that world. There's, I've been engaged in, doing tenant build outs with your customers. I've done, concrete repairs and restoration and building facades and inspections with that. And then, most recently, within the last few years, I've entered into the restoration world, and in all along my journey, I've always been touching members of BOMA with, like I mentioned, the owners, the developers, property managers, and assisting them in their needs, whether it's pricing for a future project, pricing for repairs, or now with the emergency services that we offer.
So it's been a long journey. So with that backdrop, where do you see commercial real estate heading here in Southeast Michigan from your lens, from your point of view?
Well, buildings don't fix themselves and they always need work. And a lot of times, if they aren't taken care of, things happen kind of expeditiously too, whether it's because of weather or wearing out or roof not being repaired or replaced on a timely manner or doing those inspections, it causes, additional problems. Um, they're still building buildings and they're still using the old ones. So there's always a need for, those services. Living in Michigan, we have a wide range of, climates and, you know, a series of events that come through. A couple summers ago, we had, their so-called 100-year rains that were, coming in and flooding parking lots and subdivisions and freeways, and the carryover, back up into buildings or multifamily properties, and we're here to help and assist, drying out with that.
So, yeah, good lead into this question. Can you share with us that one crazy, horrific story, client that you had to deal with? Worst case scenario, what was it?
It's a lot of times it's the loss, the water loss, and it's the emotion that it brings for a customer, whether it's a residential or multifamily, or even bringing it to a seasoned property manager in a commercial building. It's in the middle of the night, they're panicked, and a lot of times there's another element to why that water loss happened, whether it is because of a frozen pipe, and so why did it freeze. And then there's the furnace or the boilers that were down. So there's you're having a lot of emotions run through, and trying to be compassionate and have empathy for those people and say, hey, we're here to help, and just calming them down. I had a customer one time, and the poor guy had surgery the week before. He called me on a late Monday afternoon. This is Gregg, I need a crew, it's bad, probably better send a couple of them. And the crews went. I was keeping in touch with them, and our crews pulled up just as he was pulling up from up north. So, one, he was having, a bad situation with his health. He was having a bad situation because of the water loss, and he was up north, and he was just having a bad day. And he called me after everybody was there, started, getting things set up and in play. And I could tell in his voice he wasn't happy. So, within minutes of hanging up, I called, some of our management team. They rode down, I rode down. We were all down there, the management team, and they got involved, and everything was going its way. Just couldn't happen fast enough for him. When you see water, rushing across your floors and everything. And I grabbed him. We went around. We looked at all kinds of other areas. He just kind of felt reassured that, we were there and, taking care of his needs. And end of the night, he was happy. He was able to go home, and he was prepared to come in the next morning and explain to the board, because there was already a scheduled board meeting, what was going on, how it was handled, and that it's almost back to normal.
Wow. It never ceases to amaze me the depth to which our BOMA members go to help all their clients and people. It's certainly it's awesome that you all do that. And Gregg, so you've been a very active member of BOMA for many years. you, having gotten to know you over the past year, you certainly understand the power of association. And I think everybody here on this show right now understands that the power of association by creating relationships that help you out in times of need. As far as BOMA goes, what's your favorite event?
Oh, you know what? Getting together with our members and hearing, stories of past or stories that they have going on is always been just, I just feed on that information. I really enjoyed the boating, outing. I love the trade fair. Um, and is we celebrate at the Toby Awards. I always enjoy that because that truly is a celebration of excellence in our industry and our properties and everybody that helped make that a success, that property a success and being spotlighted. I have to say I do like the sporting clays because I had a little part in getting that going for BOMA, and I do
Yeah.
enjoy that in my spare time.
Well, everybody thanks you for that. Can you give us one example of where your association with BOMA has helped you out?
It's the friends that I've made and customers that I've gotten from it. I think several years ago or a few years ago, I walked into an event in November and was connected to Star on LinkedIn. And I walked in and she said, "Hey, Greg." And from there, we sat there and we had some beers and we talked, and we've been, connected ever since on just a stronger, networking level. And then, this past year, this Susan Light came into our life, and I don't know, everything's changed since then.
The jury's still out on that one. We'll get to her in
Yeah.
a minute. But that's the power of association that I reference. It's pretty cool. Okay, are you ready for the rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Here we go. Hank Williams Jr. or AC/DC?
Oh, AC/DC.
Your favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
Rolling Stones.
Fishing or hunting?
Oh, God, that's a tie. That truly is a hard tie.
We'll give the tie. All right. Mexican beaches or architectural Europe?
Ooh,
He's
I
a
don't know.
restoration
I'll
guy.
say
He's got to
Mexican
answer this
Mexican
correctly.
beaches this year. This year. Next year, it's European architecture.
All right. And here's the last one. Go Lions or go Pack Go?
Oh man, it is Lions all the way.
Oh no, poor Rick.
Pack can just stay home.
I will find somebody somewhere. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So I don't know who's on third. Jordan?
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking through my list here. Who could it be? It's none other than Susan Light from Gardaworld. She is one half of Starlight Productions, whoop, whoop, and serves as BOMA's member in the supplier and membership committee. Susan is a key figure at Gardaworld, and she's a leading security service provider with extensive experience in the security world. Susan has been instrumental in ensuring safety and security through our clients here at BOMA. And I will tell you this, because I know this for a fact, she's very innovative, coming up with other solutions other than what is out there today. She also has expertise in leadership, and she's a valuable asset, not to just Gardaworld, but to BOMA. So Susan, welcome to BOMA Talks.
Hola, everybody. And of course, we have a huge crowd, and I am melting right now.
I almost pulled a joke, and I was like, don't do it, Jordan. I was going to say, that's it for this show. And then everyone would have dropped off. I would have felt so bad. But I wanted to mess with you, Susan, because you mess with me, and it's only fair. No, you're an excellent person. I love the conversations we have. And I'm so happy that you guys asked me to guest co-host this so we could talk to you a little bit and get understanding. So just tell me a little bit about, like I was asking Star, what led you to this career? What led you to security in Gardaworld?
Actually, it found me. So I was actually someone had reached out to me and it piqued my interest, and I decided to make a career move, and I absolutely love my family at Gardaworld. Absolutely do. They all think I'm crazy, which is good because you guys think I'm crazy as well. So everybody, even playing field, but and Star's laughing, of course. But yeah, I thought when I was approached, they mentioned security officers and security and cameras, and I thought, and then I thought, what is going on in the world today? No, I looked into it and I said, this is perfect for me. So I joined what we call our family, and I am extremely happy that I did because I got to meet all of you.
Yeah, excellent. And I paid her to say that too. So $50 coming your way. No, and
Perfect.
she really does mean that. You have just been so kind, and you have a kind heart. And I think security suits you well because it's a service providing. You don't sell anything particularly, but you have to provide a comfort level to people. And you do a good job of saying, like, this is what we do. So let me ask you, what is your key responsibilities? I know you go from place to place and kind of give what Gardaworld does. Tell me a little bit more about that. What security solutions do you guys have, and what works for us property managers and us here at BOMA?
Thank you. That's a great question. So first of all, I cover the entire state of Michigan. I am in the division of physical security. So that is security officers, security guards, receptionist guards, patrol vehicles. But we have so many other divisions that I work with. And I know Jordan knows this. So we have what we call our ECAM division, which actually has the mobile security units, or MSUs, as we call them. And then someone says, go green after that. And I say, go white. So, we do the perimeter. So I do a lot of that. That's called our hybrid. So when you have a security officer that might be at I think my brain's fried right now, guys. Sorry, it's 91 right now. It's, when you have a security officer that is maybe a receptionist, or, they're at a certain station in a building, our security cameras, our ECAM division, can actually watch the perimeter. So if anybody should walk through or breach that perimeter, there's a notification sent to the security officer that is at their post, and they can go and check it out. So that's one of our divisions. We also have a risk management division, which is our crisis 24, which is amazing. They do a lot of private security. We have our best division, BEST, which does a lot of entertainment. So we do a lot with NHL, NFL, baseball, hockey, you name it. You've probably seen our best uniforms. And then we also have our government services, and and our Gardaworld trucks, which is probably the first thing you're going to see driving around. They carry my money everywhere they go. So if you want to stop and say hi, that's fine. But yeah, so we have, yeah.
Please do not stop those trucks.
I can wait.
Susan said to stop. Say hi.
Yeah, so we have my philosophy is, I am there to help you solve your problem. If you don't need a security officer, then I'm going to help you with the ECAM. If ECAM doesn't work for you, we're going to stick with security officer. And I know that you and I had a conversation, and we got to make sure that we know what fits best. So we give you that added value, and of course, build the trust.
Yeah, and the market is shifting a little bit. There's a lot of talk of like AI and stuff to keep buildings safe and not have a person per se there. If you ask the cities, they'll say yes, you need to have a person there. So they like having that personal touch at the buildings. So tell me a little bit personal wise, what do you do to serve the community? What's one of your favorite events? How do you give back? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so not only am I part of BOMA, but I am part of international, it's called ASIS initials, which is basically security. I run the Women in Security, so I have something similar, not as BOMA Talks, but something similar once every other month, I should say. And I'm very involved. I'm also on the committee for that. I also am the law and military liaison for that. I am a member, as you know, of the Chaldean Chamber. I go to many of those events. So, and in my spare time, I sleep. That's what I do. I love to network, bringing people together, where if it, definitely someone from BOMA. If I find somebody from somewhere else, I'm definitely going to introduce people because it's all about the networking and it's who you trust and who you know. What else? What was the rest of the question?
Oh, I think you nailed it. I think you got all of them. Nicely done. What's your favorite BOMA event? And you can't say the boating thing, Gregg.
No, clay shooting.
There you go, Gregg. You got a clay shooting one out.
I'm sorry. That was so much fun because I actually hit some clays last year. So, and that was my, that was actually my aunt and uncle took me practicing a little bit before, but that was my first event. And I have to tell you, I love that. That is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I do love the trade show.
Which one do you find that you connect with the most people? Maybe it's the clay show. I don't know. Is that?
I connect the most with every one of them. It's what you put into it. So at the clay shoot, I'm running around, Star and I running around, Gregg, Rick, whatever, introducing people. Matter of fact, Rick and I were on a call and I happened to have an opening and Sam happened to be on that call. Remember, Rick? And I said, Sam, what are you doing? So I connected Sam. I will introduce people to everybody. So they're all the same. It's just what you put into it. That's what matters. And that's what counts.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well said and well delivered. Anything to add to the group that we didn't discuss that you'd like to put out there?
What'd you say? What'd you do?
Anything you want to add to the conversation? Anything you want to add to the group?
No, just, you know what? You never know who you're going to meet on the top of a building, like Star. So that's how we met. We met at Toby Judging, and that's how we became friends. So you never know. And if anybody needs to be connected, let me know. I'm happy to connect you with whoever you need. And I am literally melting right now. I kid you not. And that's how much I love BOMA, everybody. I am on vacation. I am not there where you guys are freezing, but I am committed to BOMA and said, yes, I will be on the call on a balcony melting in Mexico.
Well, we're glad that you're a part of the call and part of BOMA. You're definitely an excellent part of this, and you and Star do a great job of putting this BOMA Talks thing together, and we really do appreciate that. Well, thank you very much, Susan. That's all the questions. I don't have rapid fire. I wish I would have done that. That's an awesome idea, Rick.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I was going to be like, okay, wait, Susan, do you like the Michigan left or you like Gregg in Ohio where a left turn is a left turn? Go.
No, it's a Michigan left, but I do like Gregg. So it's kind of, it's a toss up. But no, it's a Michigan left. Sorry.
And I'm not going to ask you the Packer Lions thing. That was weird. I'm not
Lions.
Yeah, that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
Inappropriate.
HR.
I'd like to point out that I did get one shout out.
Oh, I saw it. Yep. I saw it come across.
Well, hey, I want to say thanks as well, Star, Susan, Gregg, for not only being the guest today, but honestly and sincerely for all the work that you put into BOMA. Star, Gregg, the newest members of the board of directors, I thank you for your time and your expertise that you put in. Susan, you're always there for everybody in BOMA, including me at a text, phone call, email. Thank you so much for all that you put in to help other people, not only in BOMA, but throughout the greater community. You guys are awesome and fantastic representatives of what BOMA Metro Detroit is all about. Just a reminder that this episode and past episodes can be viewed at bomadet.org and YouTube at BOMA-DET.
Yeah, and Rick, in our closing statement, I do want to thank you for this opportunity. Rick does a great job with BOMA.
Yes, he does.
You are just a awesome person. So thank you for all that you do. I also like to extend my gratitude to our amazing guests, Star, Gregg, and Susan. You guys are all amazing people. Thank you very much. I want to thank all of our sponsors, and that is Kyle Capoletti from Detroit Disposal, Nick Weiss from Right Size Facilities, Sam Brunoa from City Elevator, and Kirk from Marvel Life and Grout Masters. Thank you very much. Couldn't do this without our great sponsors, so thank you.
That's right.
Yes.
One question,
you.
just, do we have our job still, Star and I, or are we fired?
We've been
Face to face.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I am
And
coming back, right? I will be home.
thank you, everyone. We'll close
Thank
this
you.
episode
That
of
was
BOMA
great.
Talks.
Good job, Jordan.
Thank
See you
you.
next
job.
month,
Thanks,
everybody, for
everybody.
Starlight Productions.
Thank you, guys. That was fun.
Hey, everyone.
Have a
Goodbye.
good time.
Take care,
Hi, Renee.
everybody.
That was
Have a great-
so
Hey,
good.
Star. Hey,
Hey.
Susan.